address and the presentations from earlier today, as well as the videos, will be available on the Construction Summit website, which is chicago.gov/construction. In addition, we're happy to announce that DPS has published a series of resource guides. These guides will take you through all of our DPS operations related to contract administration, the numerous bid incentives and programs that have been put into place, a brand new guide about our certification program, as well as a vendor compliance resource guide. So all of these guides are also available on our website for download, and certainly stay tuned for informational sessions about this important content as well. So just wanted to put a plug in there for our guides and some of our other efforts, but really wanted to just, there's a lot of great content with our headliner for today and certainly for this session. We're delighted to have Bulent Agar from the Department of Water Management join us today to talk about what is happening at the Department of Water. The Department of Water, along with CDOT, Department of Aviation, AIS, are all contributing projects as part of the mayor's capital plan. So we're really excited to hear about what projects are coming out and how folks can plug in and learn more. So with that, I would like to turn it over to you, Bulent. I think Jackie has to give you the controls and you can start sharing your presentation. And I'll certainly be back at the end to be able to help answer any questions.
All right, thank you. Let me share my screen here. Thank you, Kathy. I'm Bulent Agar. I'm the Deputy Commissioner over Engineering at Department of Water Management. I'm here for representing Andrea Chang, our Acting Commissioner. And this afternoon, we'd like to go through some of the projects that are coming up, but I'd like to give a quick overview of our departments to highlight water and sewer and facilities sides. And again, everything goes back to our most precious resource, Lake Michigan. Great Lakes is the largest freshwater body in the world, and we're lucky to have Lake Michigan, one of those 5 lakes, in our backyard. And again, just to put it in perspective, only about 2.5% of Earth's water is fresh water, which is what we need to survive. And Lake Michigan is world's 5th largest freshwater lake. We're lucky to have it because it supplies water for our neighborhoods, our businesses, recreation, aquatic habitats. And again, you would have noticed we got a lot of fluctuations with the lake, precipitation, evaporation, and runoff. And just recently, it has come to a point where it's kind of affecting our operations too. And again, CDOT's operations too with the lakeside. So it's a ever-moving target, ever-moving level where we have to maintain our operations 24/7 to ensure that we provide the clean and safe water for our residents, and also take away the sewer water to MWRD. In a nutshell, just to summarize what we do in our department, it's just not repairs and maintenance. It's basically getting all the drinking water treatment process done with our 2 purification stations, one Jardine and one Sawyer at Rainbow Park. So that requires work on water quality, which includes microbiology, chemistry, and microscopy, and water treatment from our plants. Our capacities are about 1 billion gallons per day for Jardine, and also about 720 million gallons per day for our Sawyer plant. We also oversee the water distribution system maintenance, which includes our water pumping stations, our operations and distribution through our grid line of water mains, in engineering, which is I'm a part of. We also have our combined sewer system maintenance work too, which includes, again, operations and distribution section and engineering, overseeing all that work. And finally, we transmit our wastewater to MWRD for treatments. So basically, it's a gravity system that we have in a sewer, and we get the water effluent to MWRD for the treatment and further processing. Just to put into perspective what we're dealing with in terms of our customers. So we're serving the city of Chicago itself. We're serving 40 plus suburbs, And our total population that we serve is about 5.3 million customers, which is about 42% of the population of Illinois. So it's not just the city limits, but also our suburbs too that we're serving. To look at our water system a little bit, on the water side, our asset management side, we have two crib structures that are in functioning. We have two of the largest water plants, which are on the top 10 in the world. We have 12 pumping stations, of which 9 of them are electric and 3 are steam powered right now. We don't have any elevated storage, so everything's in pump on demand. So we have to adjust our pumping according to the demand during winter, during summer, during heat waves. We got about 4,300 miles of water mains that we maintain, anywhere from 6 inches to 16 feet in diameter. We also have 48,500 existing water valves and about 490,000 water accounts that oversee. Talking about the sewer system a little bit, it is a combined sewer system. We transmit the waste and stormwater to MWRDGC, as I mentioned before. We're overseeing about 230 square miles of a drainage area, and we got about 4,500 miles of sewers, close to the mileage for water mains. And our sewer system sizes are from 8 inches to 21.5 feet in diameter tunnels. We also have 350,000 structures, which are manholes and catch basins. So again, it's a lot of work to be able to keep the system up. It's a lot of work to be able to maintain it. So going into our 10-year capital program, I'd like to talk about a little bit about that too. We've had a lot of water mains, a lot of mileage of water mains and sewers that are over 100 years old. And starting in 2012, we started a 10-year CIP program where we're actually doing double of what the usual replacement rate is, about 1% of water mains. We are doing about 2% of that in the 10-year program, where our goal was to replace 880 miles of water mains. And so far, we completed 756 miles of it. And also rehabilitating about 700 miles of sewers, which is about 220 miles of it with replacement of this larger size. And the rest of it is sewer lining, which we keep the existing sewer, but line the inside of it so that we give it another 50 to 75 years in useful life. So we completed about 654 miles of that sewer rehabilitation too. And also lining about 95,000 structures so that we don't have to replace the structures, but line them internally so that we get another 50 to 75 years of useful life out of them. And of that target, we've completed about 88,300 structures so far. We also are looking at our pumping stations too in our facilities. We got 2 pumping stations that we designed for conversion from steam to electric, converting 2 pumping stations. One's completed already, Springfield, and one's under construction, Central Park. So those are the large size projects that we're dealing with to be able to upgrade those pumping stations so that we can save on labor and maintenance costs too. So obviously electric is a lot cheaper to maintain than steam powered pumping stations. What this means is for our residents, they experience fewer main breaks, and so that means less shutoffs, time for repairs, and it's good for the economy too, because this creates jobs, which we need right now, especially in the COVID timeline. We'd like to put jobs out there. It's essential work, and it creates great opportunities for jobs for within the city and outside of the city too, for contractors too. And also, it also correlates a strong foundation for cities' future growth. And with that, what we're saying is, it's kind of like a build it and they will come philosophy. The more that we upgrade our system, the more water we can provide, the more sewer water we can get out of the system, the better it is for people to come in and move into the city of Chicago. And again, for the homeowners, for the sewer side, that also means we got fewer basement backups because we're upgrading our sewer system. We got more capacity in our system, and it's better water pressure because we got less leaks on our water mains, less shutdowns like we mentioned before, and also less restoration too. What we're doing is we're coordinating all of our work with our different departments, agencies, especially CDOT, so that we can basically get all this work done, coordinated, so that none of the other utilities coming after us and rip into brand new payment, or vice versa. We rip into brand new payment. So that was a snapshot of our 10-year program in general. I'd like to take a moment to talk about what's coming up in terms of opportunities for consultants and contractors. Looking at the water main and water side with facilities, we have new design consulting services that are going to be coming up as an RFQ, and those are usually about $5 million for 60 months. And we are planning to advertise those this year, the second quarter, so it's coming up shortly. So those are more term agreement contract style contracts that we're going to put out. The other thing that the other project that we're going to put out is for Western Avenue pumping station conversion, which is again going from steam to electric. That's probably going to be another 5-year contract, around $10 million in design costs. And we're also shooting for second quarter of apologize, that's 2021. We're going to get that fixed. It's going to be in the second quarter of 2021, which we're hoping to put that out as an RFQ. We also have our program management RFQ we're working on. That's also planned for 2021. Hopefully, shortly, you're going to see that on the street too. Continuing with the facilities improvements contracts. In 2021, we're planning to put out our topographic survey contracts. Those are, again, term agreement contracts, about $4 million. We use those contracts to topo ahead of our design, get some survey done on the streets so we can capture the surface features, the streets, the trees, the curbs, and everything else, so that we can get that to our design section and design those projects for water mains. So going to our facilities projects, our Sawyer plant, which is on the south side, we're looking at our low lift pump chemical building roof replacement, building roof projects, and boiler improvement projects coming out soon. And on the Jardine side, on Jardine plants, we're working on our preliminary design for the sediment force main right now. So that's going to be another construction job that's going to be coming out as soon as that's done, probably next year or so. Going to the pumping station side, we're working on the design for our CERMAC standby generator and switchgear project, Lakeview electrical and control improvements projects, and so those are going to be probably next year's construction. We're also working on, like I mentioned, since we're going to put out the design for Western conversion steam to electric project, we're going to be coming up with the construction portion of this too, which is probably going to be the 2023 job at this point. So just starting design now soon. So it would be about 2023 for Western Avenue. Switching to the sewer side, sewer improvement opportunities. So almost all these are IPF funded projects. What we're looking at right now is to put out a 3 contracts for our geopolymer sewer rehabilitation project, which would be large diameter sewer lining in a way. Those probably would be totaling about $30 to $40 million, and that's going to be kind of like a spray-on method instead of the sock, pulling and pushing method. In looking at the new sewer construction projects, we're looking at probably $50 to $63 million worth of work to be put in throughout 13 projects at various locations of the city. And just to go into a little bit more detail of that, advertising first or second quarter, it's probably going to be second quarter now because we're in the last days of March. We got these projects on Woodlawn and 78th Street and Howard and 88th Street projects. On Garfield, on Pershing, Rogers and Greenview sewer improvement projects are coming up shortly in the same batch. And 58th Street and Parnell and 44th Street sewer improvement projects. Archer Avenue and Schubert and Lakewood sewer improvement projects are all coming up in the same batch. So those will be in the street shortly. And as a second batch of the projects, we're looking at Hegwish, Barron, Sheffield, Inglewood and Greater Grand Crossing sewer improvement projects, Lunton Lakewood, Sacramento and 26th, Parnell and Halstead. And these are standalone private contractor PC projects that we're going to put out. And also, like I mentioned just a few slides before, the 3 large diameter sewer lining spray-on projects will be coming out this year too. And as always, minority participation is a big incentive for our projects too. On the water side, we got a few bullet points where we've identified that minority work can be performed, so there's opportunities for those too. And also on the sewer side, here are bullet points similar to on the water side too. And again, we're looking at a minimum of 26% MBE, 6% WBE, and the new initiative, Veterans Owned Business, which is the VBE. Those are a little bit lower in percentage, but we are including those in our projects that are going to go out soon and to be advertised. So that should give quite a lot of opportunities for minority subcontractors and consultants to be able to be involved in these projects. That pretty much wraps up what I have for today. And again, there are alerts that you're able to sign up, and I think Kathy will be able to talk a little bit more about that too. But also, I'd like to point out we have a Facebook site too, that if you'd like to sign up on Facebook and get our updates too. We try to put out as much information as we can for these contracting opportunities also. With this, this would be my last slide, and I'll turn it over to Kathy at this point.
Sure, Bulent, thank you so much for, I think I've got some of your slides here too. Thank you so much for sharing all of that information with the group. I did see some questions. Give me just a second to kind of get my little panels up here. I did see some questions start to come through the chat. So give me just a second to kind of find those. Folks, while I do that, if you do have questions for Bulent, please use the Q&A panel as opposed to the chat so that we can make sure that we get them. But Bulent, you make sure to kind of check your chat too, just in case folks are sending you a chat directly. So the first question I'm seeing actually is, are you taking any initiatives for PFAS contamination? This is definitely a subject matter expert question.
Yeah, so I guess maybe the question is any related to any of the projects we presented or in general? Because that's going to be more of a question for water quality folks, which actually Andrea is the expert on that. So I wasn't sure if it's related to any projects here or in general.
Sure. So Mr. Nelson, if you were able to kind of clarify in the Q&A portion, then we can kind of take it from there. So let's see here, water testing. There are some questions about, is there an option for in these projects for water testing? So there's a firm out here that also can test PFOS, etc.
Okay, so I think I get the question now. So no, usually the water testing is done internally. So we have an entire section in water quality that does the testing. So as these, and that's a good question too, because as these projects are happening in the field, there's shutdowns, we take water mains offline, and then at that time, water quality has to be tested to make sure that it's back to normal. All the levels of chlorine are up to speed on those, and that testing is pretty much done internally. So I would say on these projects too, they'll be done by the water quality section.
Got it. Thank you. Do you plan on utilizing CIPP lining for water main rehab in the near future?
It has come up a few times, and we've looked at it in the past. There was a project on the south side, and we're going through the results of that too. I mean, it's something that we've looked into. There's not a final, pull on the trigger thing yet on that, but we're also looking at that too.
Got it. Let me check here in our chat. While I'm doing that, I just wanted for folks to, build on some of what Bulent had said in terms of, just staying in touch about upcoming opportunities with the Department of Water Management, as well as the Department of Procurement Services. For those folks who might not know, we do issue a quarterly buying plan So that gets updated. Actually, it's not a quarterly buying plan, it's a buying plan that gets updated quarterly. So we ask our user departments like the Department of Water Management to look out as far as they can, ideally about 6 quarters, to be able to project what it is that they are going to be purchasing or what they're going to be needing. Also in the buying plan, we do denote, and water management does have projects that are classified SBI and MBI. These projects are limited to bidding by small or mid-sized firms. Those programs are race and gender neutral, and they're based on the SBA size standards. So all those types of projects, the SBI projects and the MBI projects, are highlighted in the buying plan. Let's see here. We've got some other questions coming in. The current design consulting services term agreements were indicated as a new RFQ soon. But it sounds like there's discussion about extending some of those agreements. If there are extensions to some of the agreements, do you know if you're still going to advertise for the new ones, or are you going to more exercise the extension options?
Yeah, I don't know which contract this is specifically, but even if you're exercising the contract options, we still are going to put the RFQs out just because it'll take some time to put those out and review the qualifications, put a contract together. So we just need to make sure that we got the new contracts rolling, the process going, so that, there's continuity in services. But yeah, we are planning to put those out this year.
Right, and I've seen that too. Like the expectation would be that the RFQ solicitation would go out while the other contracts are still in effect. And certainly the best way to stay in touch about that is to ensure that you are registered for our DPS Alerts newsletter. Another question, are there plans to replace water main lateral service connections to homes?
Yeah, so this goes back to the lead service line replacement program. So you might have noticed this too, but Department of Water Management is kicking off 2 programs right now as a start. One is the homeowners initiated lead service line replacement program, where it's more on the homeowners to apply for their permits and get their contractors and get the work done on their own. But we have some incentives as Department of Water Management and the City of Chicago, I should say, where we waive the permit fees for that work. And the other program that we're about to roll out is the equity-based lead service line replacement, where we will be using some CDBG funding to put out a contract to replace those lead service line the lead services to the houses. That's still in the works, so that contract's not out yet. It's in its initial preparations, but I would expect that to be coming out sometime this year also.
And is that contract for like a single contractor? Is that for a pool of contractors?
That's still been discussed. It's probably going to be, it's a low bid, so I would imagine it's going to be sort of for a single contractor. That's being finalized right now.
Got it. And so I'm presuming, but for that other program that you talked about, the homeowners program, is that already underway?
I believe they're taking applications for that.
Got it.
Yeah, yeah, the best information would be online, leadsafechicago.org. So that website basically spells out the 2 programs and what we're doing with those and the application periods too.
I'm sorry, Bueling, was it leadservicechicago.org or?
It's Let's Safe.
Oh, got it. Perfect. Thank you. You're gonna put that in the chat for us.
Sure, sure. I'm looking at that right now. Hopefully that showed up.
Did you use the chat feature or the Q&A?
Let me go to Q&A, right?
Well, certainly if you get it to me and us, we will get it to all of our.
My send button is grayed out, so I can't send it, but it's leadsafechicago.org.
Got it. leadsafechicago.org. So perhaps one of our DPS scribes, Rodney or Jackie, if you could put that in the chat for folks, that would be optimal. I mean, that's great. And then we will make sure to adjust the PowerPoint to have that website address if it isn't in there already. Wonderful. Let's see here. Oh, there we go. leadsafechicago.org. Perfect. Folks, I'm just kind of scrolling through our Q&A to make sure that we've caught all of our questions.
There's one more
Bulin, it looks
question.
like you did a spectacular job. I just want to make sure that folks know that we do, just as we update our buying plan on a quarterly basis, we do also bring Bulin and the Department of Water Management back to our DPS workshop series. Jackie Umbles of our team, who's the DPS events, and she's behind the scenes, but making sure all of this happens, coordinates that program. We feature first look workshops with our key user departments, including the Department of Water Management. So we encourage all of you to stay in touch with us about when those workshops are happening, and you can stay tuned in to like what are the latest projections for when things are going to advertise. And thank you, Rodney. I see that Rodney's putting in the chat to see, you know, what are the calendar of upcoming DPS workshops, along with, you know, what are some other resources, or what are other agencies or other assist agencies doing in this space in terms of education, in terms of networking events. We try to take the initiative at DPS to put together a singular calendar, and we invite all of our departments and partners and sisters and other government units to also let us know what are you doing and how are you informing the vendor community. And we aggregate that information and put it in a single location so that there's as many opportunities there for the business community as possible. So, you know, please check out that website as well to register for one of our upcoming events, or to check out events that are happening with any one of our stakeholder organizations in the Chicagoland area. Also, excuse me. Oh my goodness, Alexa. Pardon me, folks. It's the joy of live TV, right? Also, I want to give a plug for our DPS social media. We, in addition to the buying plan and the DPS alerts, our newsletter, we are also on 4 different social platforms. So please follow us. We post when something is advertised. So, or there's other news and events that could be of interest to you. So please join us on our social media channels. And so with that, I'm not seeing any additional questions. I want to thank you, Bulin, and the Department of Water Management for joining us here today, giving us this great information. I want to thank all of the participants who've been with us all day, or just with this session. Thank you for being here and taking time out of your busy day to learn a little bit about what we are doing here at the City of Chicago. I want to reiterate on behalf of our Mayor Lori Lightfoot, our Chief Procurement Officer, that we here at the Department of Procurement Services, along with our user departments, are here to assist and provide information and be as transparent as possible. We're customer service oriented, our doors are open, and we look forward to hearing from all of you, staying in touch, and being able to assist wherever we can. So again, thank you so much. These presentations that we've had today will be available, as well as the videos, in the coming days on our Construction Summit website, which you can get to at www.chicago.gov/construction. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Bulin.
Thank you.